Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Career Mode episode number 79. We're at Milano San Remo. 303 kilometers. Super long classic race with a little bit of punch at the end of it. It's not the most intense race you're going to see at all, and therefore we're going to skip the early, many long kilometers of this one.
Some riders definitely won't be able to keep up.
Most of the race is now behind us. Despite that, we still have 70 kilometers to go. We're going to begin the climbs that really do make up this race. We've had one big, slow, gentle climb in the early stages, and now things are going to begin to pick up. Up until this point, the field was really just cruising along. But here we are, just a 2-kilometer climb, but 8.7% on the gradient. 5 riders in the break. Relatively minor lead for them, but they've been out front for a very long time. So despite the pace, they've still been riding in turns, and that'll definitely have an impact. And it looks like a rider just went down. I haven't seen a notice. Yes, there it is. He was right at the front. Nadarov front and center. And all of my riders managed to avoid that. They were either to the left or right side of the road. Here we go on the next one. This one's just 2%. Not even sure why it's classified. A whole 47 meters. There it is. There it was. Rolling into town. Okay, next one's a little steeper. 3.7 for 2K. Now we're going up there. Again, fairly minor, but you are just beginning to see the wear and tear onto the field. But also, the last time to grab water is now, so I'm going to send Dianigi back, and let's go ahead and stay with him as he carries out that task. We've got another gentle hill here in just a moment. It's going to do nothing. We got to just 3.2%. Look like the max. Dianigi has the water, and he's going to make his way back forward. And then finally, the real climbs that will decide this race. There's 3 of them. The first one, 4.8 kilometers. Average is 4.4%. And Dianigi was starting to make his way back up through the field, but then everyone else around him started attacking. And so now he's still trying to fight his way to the front in the middle of a climb, which is a really bad time to be doing that, to be bringing the water now. He's doing okay, but his red bar is gone. He's still got the yellow bar, but he's going to start drifting back, I would imagine. Breakaway's caught. 173 riders in the field. The first couple riders are getting dropped due to the intensity of the climb. And Dianigi finishes the job. He's able to get everyone their water. We're still at the height of the climb right now. Now we're going to begin the descent. And Dianigi recovering to assist Philipsen. 31K to go, and everyone is still near the front for my team anyway. And without a breakaway, this is actually a good opportunity for us to put a little hurt into the field. But it's the final climb. So for now, we just want to make sure we're still here. It's Bora Hansgrohe who are doing the work at the front. 5.8K on this one, but 4.5%. This is really the biggest climb of the day in terms of how difficult it is. Halfway up. We're down to 100 riders, and my first guys are starting to fade, but otherwise we've got the full team still at the front. In fact, Dianigi, who's the first to fade here, and I think a lot of that has to do with the effort he made as the rain begins to fall here. 10% at the moment. This is the steepest section. The only orange section, or darker orange section anyway, and Dianigi has gone out the back as there's a pretty big split in here. Peloton down to 63 riders. Ooms is about to get dropped. And now it's 48 riders at the front. Felchi, the next one on the verge. Philipsen hanging in there as we go over the top. He's one who's got a great chance of winning this race if he's still around after the final climb. And so far, so good. So we have 5 riders left. Van Barle, Gottwald, Peterson, Felchi, and Philipsen And now Felchi is very nearly done. Protecting Van Barl. Let's get Gottwald on Philipson. And then Peterson can ride solo. Peterson has actually a better sprint than Van Barl, so why don't we switch that? Felchi, go ahead and protect Peterson, and then Van Barl will work for either Peterson or Philipson at the end. Gottwald himself also not a great sprinter, so that's why he's in that support role. Also, his stamina is not quite as good as the others. And as we go ahead into this last climb, we want to make sure these guys aren't dropping back, so we're going to set them to a 92. I'm thinking, actually, that this is going to be a good time, as Sepp Van Mark has ridden off solo. Didn't see that one coming. Missed when it happened. No, you know what? I think we're better off riding for the sprint at the end than we are going into a
Only 10 kilometers left.
sprint train and trying to go away that way. I think we're going to be better off going for the sprint at finish. Just 42 riders, especially with Philipson here. If Philipson's still here, we have a good chance to win, though. It looks like Sagan. Oh, no, it's Grunewagen's still here, and Viviani's still here. Demar, oh, that's a lot of sprinters. And Scoins and Alaphilippe are going. Ooms just remade contact. We're going to ignore him, though, because Ooms is going to be too far back and unable to help us. But this just goes to show how weak things are at the moment. So we want Philipson behind Peterson, behind Van Barl, behind Gottwald, and Felchi's done. Felchi has no energy left, so we're just going to ride Gottwald at about a 92. And pull those guys back.
While the pack is getting close to the finish line,
8K to go.
that the stage will be won in a sprint.
Van Barl, we're going to use his gel. Back to the front. Now we are doing the sprint train style. Ooms was dropped again.
The group is slowly thinning out due to such a frantic pace.
Felchi, he's about to get dropped. Down to 65. Over the top. Peterson, Philipson use their gel. Gottwald, good on the descent. We want to stay out front. 4K. It's in the rain, so a 94 is about as hard as we can afford to push this, otherwise we risk having the entire team fall. But now, at the base, we go 99, and we're in the prime position, except Grunewagen is right on us. It's 1.8, so I'm going to start my sprint.
The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up.
Okay, and now Van Barl. And now just everyone. Philipson, he's going to have to go from 1K out. He's getting cut off by Grunewagen at the moment. We're going to have to push out here. Can he overcome third? I think he's going to get third. Grunewagen squeezed him, and we do get third. So Grunewagen squeezed Philipson, and Philipson couldn't get past. Viviani then was able to overtake before Philipson could get up to speed. But then maintaining his speed, he held third. Ewan fourth. Peterson fifth, so that's also good. Sagan sixth, and Van Barl takes seventh. And Gottwald ninth. 4 riders in the top 10. Worth a lot of valuable points, so we don't claim the victory on this one. Still, third place, not bad. And if I didn't get squeezed by Grunewagen, I had nowhere to go on the left, and I had to wait for Grunewagen to get past before I can get Philipson some clean air. If it wasn't for that, we still could have won. But I should have started Philipson's sprint a little bit earlier, or at least his lead-out guy, his stronger lead-out guy, the stronger sprinter in Peterson, should have been going sooner, because I just ended up sending them both at the same time. So that put Philipson another wheel further back. I had too much energy left in those guys. So little combination of Grunewagen playing that one smartly,
And here are the races of
and
life that we
combination
selected
of myself not quite doing enough on that. You can see there's the problem. There's Grunewagen. We just finally got around him, and then we're able to overcome our guys. We're able to stay ahead of Ewan, but we're not able to get ahead of the other two riders. But again, that's still 4 riders in the top 10, so that's a good race no matter what. Moving forward a week and a half, just into the beginning of April, quite a few things happened in that short period of time. We had a number of races that we participated in, but a lot of it was minor races or lower level World Tour races. And I let the AI do its thing for most of that. I also went into the planner and filled out the schedule a little bit more, and then updated everyone's training schedule for that period, and that put us all the way till just after the end of the Giro. So we're pretty much covered for the next month now on the planner and on everyone's fitness peaks. But there was a real update to that. So first off, Milano San Remo, the one we just finished up, paid out $14,000, and then one of the races, only one of the races, went as you might hope, and Philipson won the Drydaxa Bruja di Pane race. Sure, I'm butchering that, but yeah, we tried. Paid out really well with the victory, $16,600. So $30,000 between those two, couple thousand in minor payments in other races. Adds up to a month of March that did have a positive balance. So not only did we lose minimally, but we actually were able to pull off a positive balance, getting the exact opposite. In Catalonia, McNulty, AI-led, managed 13th overall. But also in these AI-led races, Stan Gaudry went down with a fractured hip, is expected back at the end of the month, and one that I have not seen yet and will affect my planning a bit as things were already pretty tight. Dianigi goes down with a fractured rib. Let's see what his expected return date is. Mid-April. That's not bad. That could affect a race or two, but we'll just kind of deal with that one accordingly. But now that we're into this new month, right, our immediate downside is 90,000. So we have to make 90,000 per month to offset the costs. And you can see from the start of March till the end, a few minor paydays that didn't add up to much, but there's the 30,000, 67, 87, 105, and 146. So we actually made 146,000 in winnings over that period, offsetting the 90 by quite some margin. So that's real nice. It's actually a little more than 90, right? It's 257, 258. So actually, it's more than that. It's 258. It's 108. So we still actually ended up with a profit of about 30,000 for the month of March. And again, that's just something I'm going to have to really keep an eye on. You saw, from January to February, we declined with only a couple of races in that month. February got a little bit busier, but it wasn't World Tour stuff. And so we saw a bigger decline. But March, we did see an increase. So if we see a handful of months with increases and only one or two like this the rest of the way, we'll be just fine heading into next year. And you never know, we could end up somewhere right around where we had finished the year off at. And you can see Dwarfs van Vlaanderen, Dwarf is already one of those races that I'm now affected by with the loss of Dianigi. Dianigi was scheduled to be a part of this race. So let me jump into the planner again before I go and put anyone in. So there's no other race that we're going to overlap with, and that's a good thing. So it's really just about picking somebody who can fill the gap. Does have cobbled sections, and it does go till pretty late. We've got our main guys already there. Let's see, Philipson, Garrison. Philipson's not in. And he's only racing 71 days, so we'll bring Philipson into this race to fill it out for now. Do I have any that have gone red? Well, hold on. Let me... Kunigi, Fasco. He's probably going to miss out on Itzulia Basque Country. Which actually does put us below where we need to be by one guy. We can fill him in with just about anyone. Put Gregory Daniel in there. There you go. It's a 1-star objective. Not a big deal. There you go. We're covered. Welcome to the biggest race objective of the entire year. Ronde van Vlaanderen. The objective, top 10, full 4 stars on the sponsor requirement. A bit unlucky on some race day condition. Evenepoel, -1. Peterson, -1. Daniel, -2. Garrison at least has a positive. Philipson came out even. We have 255 kilometers to go. It's going to be a long race. Daniel, yeah, another -2. Not helping us. But Ooms has a +1. And maybe most importantly, Van Barl has a +5 today. So there's a very good chance that he ends up being the one we ride for. But that would have to be if the group gets down inside 10 riders. Because he's not going to have the sprint capability to beat out a group larger than that. We'll start breaking down the riders and what they're capable of here shortly. But you can see the flat a 79, the cobble an 83, the stamina resistance very high. The climbing will be just fine. That one area, he's got a sprint of 72, acceleration of 74 today. So he's not going to have a lot of top speed. He can beat some guys like that, though. And we could definitely get him into the top 10 if he's the last one there. I mean, looking at that profile. Starting from the left of my screen now. That's a lot of cobbled sections. A lot. And most of them are going up and over short, steep climbs, which makes them that much harder. So it's going to be tricky on who to focus on today. It's definitely not Garrison, and Van Barl's definitely among the list. So let's start with that. It's definitely not going to be Daniel, but will it be Evenepoel, Philipson, Peterson, or Ooms? Ooms is probably, yeah, he's not going to have the climbing capability. So it's not going to be Ooms. So now we're down to Peterson, Philipson, and Evenepoel. I don't think Peterson has the mountain. He's got the stamina. Philipson doesn't have the mountain either. I think Philipson's not going to be there. Evenepoel's got a really good chance. He's got decent stamina and resistance, and he's got the climbing capability. But he's terrible on the cobbles. And Philipson's not good. So, Peterson, I think we have to ride for Peterson. But Ooms maybe helps Evenepoel. So we'll put Ooms on protecting Evenipol to help him through the cobbled sections. There you go. And then we have Peterson protected by Daniel. And Phillipson will kind of let him hang out and see what he can do. I don't think he's going to be capable of much today. In fact, I think maybe Ooms should be the one who's riding solo and let him stick around till later on. Phillipson's going to be a workhorse. Alright, I have a new tool at my disposal that I have not used yet. I just got used to using it with a new series that I started recently. And we're going to go ahead and insert a time lapse here. So instead of just cutting away and coming back later in the race, we're going to insert a time lapse, and we'll do it until the race starts to intensify a bit. So the first few cobbled sections, and maybe then some.
Everybody ask me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine. Everybody ask me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine. Everybody ask me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine. Everybody ask me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine. Everybody ask me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine. Everybody ask me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine. Them and said she told me so fine. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so fine.
Alright, 57 kilometers to go, and we're getting into the final grouping. It has been an exciting race. There has been a lot of drama. I'm actually really glad that I used the time lapse because there's a lot of things that I wanted you to have in there. But the time, the extra probably 8 to 10 minutes, would have made it a lot harder to get other content into the video. Let me know what you thought about the time lapse in the comments below, and whether you think that's something I should stick with for this series. We already do have ×8 speed, which of course is a valuable tool, and so I don't always need to necessarily speed it up when the game itself is sped up. But we do have a little gap now as a few riders get away, and we're definitely going to have to bridge that gap back down as we've really thinned out here. But Van Barl, Ooms, Peterson are through it, and we've kind of lost everybody else. Garrison is gone. Evenipol and Phillipson are just too slow, unfortunately. Let's actually just go ahead and set that whole trio. Let them work, do their thing. Alright, so Van Barl, Peterson. Come on, let's not get dropped here. Now there was a pretty sizable break, and most of it has been caught. There's 6 riders left at the front. We're going to have to check in on who those guys are. But we're now at a group of 20 here. And, oh, Ooms, come on now. And Peterson. Dang, both of them slipped out the back there. I think Ooms is going to make contact again in a moment. There we go. He does. Let's put him back on protect. And meanwhile, Peterson, not happy that he got dropped in that. So we're down to 21 here, chasing 7, and Ooms really still not back in position. Van Barl, we need you.
Yet another flat tire. It seems to be catching.
You're not going forward, you're going backward on these things this late. Alright, so it's 15 chasing 6 now. Oom's one of the ones who has just slipped out the back. Let him ride like that. So this is mostly about pace on these climbs, that the tiniest gaps are opening, and then that's it, you're done. Let's go ahead and get through this thing. And Van Barl, make sure we don't get dropped. Don't like how far back down the group we are. Oh, and he gets caught up in a crash. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, our biggest objective of the year, and we just got absolutely screwed. Ooms is now the furthest ahead. Ooms, I want you to hold up, hold up, hold up. Peterson's in the group. Van Barl's out of the race. Oh man, we are getting screwed here. Okay, I need you to move forward a little bit in the group. Prove your position. Don't go 99.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
Ooms.
A team leader is falling behind.
Protect for now. Some of these guys are standing still. Oh, this is terrible. Alright, stay put. Use your gel. Venipol is over 3 minutes behind. And Van Barl still standing still, right? Yes, he is. As soon as he gets all the way to the back, he'll be withdrawn. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Our best place guy, +5 race day condition. And he crashes out of the race. I mean, at least we still have Peterson, but this is not looking good at all for our top 10. There's way more than 10 riders ahead of us. Let's go all the way to the front and start counting back. I think this is the front. It is. So we have 4 riders here. So Kung, Rowe, Matthews, DeMar, they're going to be hard to catch. Kukelair, 9 riders here, so that's 13, and that's where we were. That's the group we were in. Chase group of 5, so that's up to 18. That's 20 riders. There's 21, 22, and here's our group. So right now we're fighting for 23rd place. That's not good.
We can only hope that they all get back up. It's always best to be in the lead when going into cobbled sections. Breaks in the peloton can happen at any moment.
Oom's left behind. So Peterson now riding solo. Well, absent of teammates anyway.
Christoph goes onto the attack.
I think that's going to improve his position slightly. Yeah, there's Ito. Ito was about 20th. This is missing the top 10 and getting just a top 25 position at this point. The gap's actually going the wrong direction right now. Nobody in this group is working. Do I need to just leave these guys behind? One more cobbled section. We're going to have to really work that one pretty hard. I think for the most part I need to just back off so we have the energy to hit that climb. We can make up a lot of time when we're on there. Leave this group behind, at least bridge forward, catch another group or 2. Matthews attacking that climb right now. 20k to go, and here it comes. Peterson, let's go. Past Ito, past Jakobsen, past Lampart, Garcia Cortina, and Steve are ahead of us. There's Kukelair and Degenkolb. Wow, we've bridged quite the gap here, but we're low on energy now, so now we're just going to sit on. $18K to go. Go ahead and put your hand up. 17K, drink some water. Alright, it's not as bad as it was. Our position's improved, but I definitely still think we're outside of the top 10 for sure. We're starting to recover. That's nice. Oh, there's another section here. Dang.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
Past. Oh, Garcia Cortina just blocked me. Come on. Let's at least catch Kukalair.
Some cobbled sections are very narrow, so it's important to be well positioned to avoid falls or breaks in the peloton.
Alright, so we've caught Kukalair and left the other two guys behind. It's, again, a little bit better than it was. It's all 1s and 2s mostly out here. But Kukalair is going slow, and he was definitely going backwards. So skip to the front. This is the front of the field. So Pollitt, Van Aert, Sagan, Matthews, and Youngles. That's 5 riders. 6, 7, 8. Kung left behind. Damar is 9. There's 10 and 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're in 17, 18 right now. With 8K to go, and there's nothing else, so this is as high as we're going to get. At least it's top 25. So unfortunate, because Van Barl with his +5 was looking really strong, and we were in the group that is amongst the leaders right now, right? Not the front 5 guys, and actually I think some of them are from that group, so 5K to go, and Michael Matthews takes the victory over Van Aert, Niels Pollitt, Bob Youngles, and Peter Sagan taking 5th in the sprint. Clearly did not have any energy left. Luke Rowe 6th, Christoph 7th. We have 3K to go. There's my gel here. Kung 8th, Damar. Yeah, the order hasn't changed for any of these guys. Okay, so we leave him behind. Now 17th. We could maybe sprint our way forward to 16th if we can catch Terpstra. We do. We get 16th. But we miss our objective of a top 10. At least it was only top 10 and not top 5, because it's only a single negative, not a major negative. It's the biggest objective of the year. And Peterson was dropped well before and was well back of where Van Barl was. So you got to figure Van Barl definitely would have had a top 10. At the worst, he would have been somewhere in the Luke Rowe, Christoph, Kung, Damar kind of area, that no man's land in between, even if he didn't make the front group. He does make that front group. He's top 6. Considering where we were able to get Peterson all the way up to 16th, I figured Van Barl would have placed a bit better, considering he was a couple minutes ahead of Peterson. And fresh, while Peterson was pretty low on energy already. Peterson was down under, 20% I think on his yellow bar. Well, Van Barl was still at 75, 80% on his. And he's hurt. Insult to injury, he's injured. So this is going to be bad news. Let's go ahead and get our final results here, and we'll move forward that one day. See if we get feedback on how bad it is, the injury, and the take on the sponsors, how ticked off they are. I'm sure they're not pleased, but I wouldn't be surprised if we still have full or nearly full, since it wasn't a total failure.
And here are the race highlights that we've selected for you.
Yeah. I mean, you figure from where we were, it was a roughly a 2-minute gap. So a 2-minute gap for 53 at the worst is 10th. I think he would have been better placed. I think he would have been with these guys here. Maybe not with the leaders, but I think he could have been. Like, Kung is somebody who dropped backwards. Damar is somebody who dropped backwards. So I suppose at the worst he's with Lutsenko, Van Avermaet, and Tunison. Oh, excuse me. But at least we gained a little bit. I mean, we got past a couple of these guys at the finish, went from 18th to 16th. Not that that makes any difference. So we're keeping an eye here and here. We will bypass this minor race though. Just 6 riders, Dianigi missing. That's okay. No result for us. Now we can move forward that day. Zulia Basque Country is next. I think it is a minor objective. Okay, sponsors not ticked. That's good. Prize money was bad. Van Barl, fractured hand. That's usually pretty minor. End of May. Why is a fractured hand a 2-month injury and a broken rib is a few weeks? I mean, you're not going to have a solid control. It's going to affect you. But a broken hand is something that you can cast up and rest on the bike handle and tweak the brakes to where you're using the other hand, or you have a couple fingers that you could still use depending on where the fracture is in your hand. But yeah, it's a little surprising that he's going to be out for 2 months. Ugh. That's not the way I was hoping to end this episode. At all. Oh, and see, we're given the full X. We took 16th, and we get the full X. We don't even get the mediocre kind of result. We still have the results despite it, though. Great success in all the other ones. Oh, hello, McNulty. Finally reevaluated. It must have been a turn of the month sort of thing. Is now quite popular after the victories he claimed last month. That must only be reevaluated once per month. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.